What's happening, YouTube? It's yours truly, Rock Combo, aka the Professor on the Sticks. And I always get asked, Rock Combo, what makes you a good player? What makes the turf team so good? Y'all have really great content. Y'all top of the leaderboard. So what makes y'all so good? And there's one thing that always pops in my mind. Offense is okay. Yeah, offense every year is pretty easy. But what pops in my mind is defense. And I think there's three different keys to defense. Situational defense, for example, like red zone, fourth down. Next up would be run defense, and lastly, adjustments. Adjustments meaning you know what your opponent is running, the most popular things in the game, and having adjustments before the game even starts, so knowing how to stop some of the most effective route combinations, formations, and schemes out there. And then, lastly, lurking, and, being able to see what your opponent's doing and having the ability to take away their first read. So let's get to the situational defense first. Red zone D and fourth down defense, or third and long defense. So red zone defense, I think, is always should be a little bit different than what you normally run. And to the red zone, I think the red zone in Madden is from like the 15-yard line and in. So if your opponent, it's going to be tough to completely shut out your opponent, especially if you're playing a good player. So once they get to the 15-yard line, you have to have some defense to hold them to 3 or make them go for it on fourth and goal, because it can be pretty difficult to score. Depending on year to year is a little different with how nice some of the end zone spec catches were. Like Madden 15, they were pretty deadly. But there's ways to kind of adjust to that and try to slow those down. So you definitely need to have defense for that. I don't really like to blitz more than 3 or 4 people in the red zone. Every once in a while I will, but for the most part, I like to play a lot of really good pass coverage defense and use the back of the end zone as your 12th man. So hold your opponent to 3. And then also fourth down defense. For example, on fourth down, I either like to blitz the house, or I like to make sure I take away what I believe my opponent is trying to do and make him go to a second or third option. And eventually I'm going to be able to get a stop. So whenever it's fourth and long, anything over, I would say 13 yards, I bring the crib. I will blitz 7. I learned that from God Thumbs a few years ago. He will blitz 7, and you're not going to be able to pass the ball past the sticks. So, and a lot of people are not going to be looking for slants. So that's an example of fourth down defense and some red zone defense of stuff that I like to do. And then lastly, adjustments, which is lurking and also taking away what your opponent likes to do, and reading what he's liking to do. So, for example, you just need to be able to lurk with a free safety or a linebacker on their first and second read and kind of bait them in between those two and make them go to their third and fourth read. Make them read the whole field and not just be able to lock in on their first read. For example, a couple plays ago, I noticed whenever he was motioning in his receiver from the outside, it looked like it was going to be some type of Z-spot play, so I was able to bait him into an interception. That's just one example of many. I hope these tips helped you out. And if you have any questions or want to know more about some of my keys to what I feel like playing good defense, being able to lock up, get some pick sixes, and get the W, as I was able to completely lock up this guy. Be sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Great things are coming from Madden 16 from the Turf team. And once again, I appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the 6th.